pretty clever. That's pretty clever. And Bisu? No, it's gonna be Su. Alright. That's cool. Su's pretty good too. And he's gonna be playing a ZVP. So he's 50% overall, but he's got 2-0 record against Protoss. So we're gonna have a lovely non-mirror matchup. Oh, how awesome. How magical. Are you telling me that you can play a game of StarCraft with different races? Magical, magical. Let me actually see who Air Force Ace has available. It's gonna be Cal. Cool, 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 cool. Ooh, this could be quite nice. Cal last season played some really disappointing ZVPs though, or PVZs I should say. Basically, he kept trying to Sarah Reaver and then doing it poorly, which just is like even worse than usual because you know Sarah Reaver is such a cool strat. It's 10-7 by the way, that's quite good. Sarah Reaver is like such a cool strategy, but he kept like moving out with his first Reaver and then having the Zerg just attack him right as he was out on the map and having no Reaver at home to defend. And he lost like 3 or 4 games like that. It was quite sad. Anyway, Kit is clearly sad because if Su wins, we don't get to see Bisu play. Pretty sure. Pretty sure. Anyway, Su versus Cal. Dude, Protein Clog, the funny thing is, going one base doesn't even protect you against getting Hydro Busted. You just get Hydro Busted at a different time. You can always be Hydro Busted in ZVP. And the map is Neo Ground Zero. Here we go. In the bottom left corner as the red Zerg, we have Endai Su. And at the top right, as the yellow Protoss, we have Cal, aka Sizz Cal. What clan was Fantasy on, by the way? Was he by Fantasy? Was he on by? Trying to think. Anyway, cross my spawns on Ground Zero. If Cal does decide to do some kind of silly one base thing, I think it's going to be bad for him. It's much longer distance. Ah, he was by Fantasy. Excellent. Yeah, that's 208 centimeter Dan. He looks a lot like Artosis with glasses. This is me as that guy like Artosis with glasses and an afro. That might actually even be Artosis. He's just in a disguise. Woo! Oh my god, that guy's humongous. What the hell? He's like touching the ceiling. Look, he's like a giant. He's like the BFG. He's the big friendly giant. Oh my god. Unless he was just like surrounded by midgets. That's also a possibility. I think that's marginally less likely though. Oh wow. Anyway. 12 hatch going down to the natural. Oh, that's so good. Ah. Anyway, we are going to have a Forge of Fast Expanse here from Cal, so thank goodness for that. Although, in that position on this map, it's you can't really make a good wall in. You just have to do this Pylon Forge Gateway above it thing, but there's still a lot of space above your gateway. And it's not tight between the Forge and the Pylon, so it definitely leads to some interesting games, aka Soul Key, Ling all letting Bisu on this map. It's quite funny. I mean, Bisu number 1, clearly. So, we are going to have Forge and then Nexus, because he didn't scout early enough to Nexus first. And he's going to build a gateway, probably, and then a cannon. It is cross map, so it's fairly safe. Meanwhile, Drone Guy making a third here at the bottom right. It's interesting, actually. Okay, note the expansion pattern here. In the ZVP, we saw between Action and Free? Yeah, Action and Free. Action decided to expand vertically. Like, they spawned cross map as well. Action took his third vertically, whereas Su is separating the map horizontally, which is very interesting because this natural that he's taken, his third that he's taken by ground, it's much farther away from his own natural. Whereas if you imagine if he took the top left natural, it'd be way closer, both by ground and by air. I just think ground-wise it's probably quite similar, but by air it's much closer. So it's like it's easier to get the overlords over there. It's easier to defend if you have mutas or whatnot. So it's very curious that he's actually decided to take that third instead. And this actually in terms of the early and mid game, I think that's a slight not necessarily disadvantage, but it's going to be slightly difficult for him to actually defend that. Meanwhile, everything is normal in the Protoss space. But in terms of the late game, if you think about the late game expansion patterns, I think that actually helps him a little bit. Because the Protoss wants to take the 3 o'clock as his third, because that's a gas base. And then the next gas base that he would take as a fourth would in fact be the bottom right natural, which Su has already taken as his third. So by taking this early, he's denying the fourth gas of the Protoss much later. So if the Protoss wants a fourth gas, he's going to have to expand to the top left natural, which is super far away, which means that in the late game, his fourth gas is going to be really hard to take. Instead, he's probably just going to take the 12 o'clock mineral only, and that's obviously not going to be nearly as useful in the late game. So I think that's kind of what's going on right here. It's kind of that dynamic. Because otherwise it makes a little bit less sense to me to take the far away natural as a third. Anyway, I just completely made that up, so I could be completely wrong, but there it is. Anyway, we do see 2 zealots out to help block that gap above the gateway. There is still space between the forge and the pylon, but as we can see, Su's not doing any kind of silly link shenanigans. So that is that. We see a probe actually blocking that now. And Stargate and Citadel, as expected here. No upgrade on the forge, so not going for any kind of +1 craziness. It's actually interesting because the very popular style nowadays is to go for Corsairs and +1 speed loss in the mid game. But obviously without +1, that doesn't quite work so well. Oh, Haram says having that closer or that far away third also allows Su to do more counterattacks with Dark Swarm once he gets the hive tech. Yeah, thank you, Haram. It looks like second cannon at the front just to be safe here. Meanwhile, oh, he's getting +1 attack for his Corsairs though, so he's going +1 Sayers. Just not going for the Zealot focus as well. Interesting. Very interesting. Meanwhile, we just do see standard 5-hatch shenanigans from our Zergy player. And of course he's going to come over here, see the third, be like, oh, okay, that's fine, that's cool. It's all good. It's probably a Hydroden and or Evolution Chamber there. Looks like it's an Evo to help some city that up. Now, the second gas I believe has been taken, so there could be Mutalisks coming out. Although slightly delayed, obviously, having made all those hatches first. Don't know. Are we going to see anything? Looks like some Scourge first. Looks like one cannon going up in the main, a slightly awkward position, but it does it covers the Stargate crucially, and it covers most of the mineral line. A lot of people, when they make that cannon, like, it's actually important the building placement in your main as a Protoss. You want the Stargate close to your main nexus like that. Like, that's not a mistake. That's not just people placing it because they have pylon power there. That's actually because when you want just one cannon be able to cover both your Stargate and your main mineral line. You need to cover your Stargate because otherwise the Zerg can just camp Scourge over the Stargate and kill the Corsairs as they spawn. So you need the cannon to cover that, and then obviously you also want to protect your probe line. So it's actually quite important, the placement there. Anyway, +1 now on the way. Looks like a DT. He's going to poke around here, see what he can see. Probably not going to be able to do too much. And it looks like we have Skoji. That is absolutely horrendous. Cal, what are you doing? Wake up, man. Drink some Hot 6. Alright, that's got to be on the next Hot 6 commercial. We'll have Cal flying his Corsairs into Scourge, and then they'll be like, ah, Hot 6! And then that'll be the commercial. So, yeah. Good. That was really bad. He's going plus on Corsairs. He lost 2 of his first Corsairs. Anyway, mass cannons. Basically, because Cal's actually invested quite a bit in those Corsairs, his ground force is a little bit small. His Templars seem to be a little bit late, and that is a butt ton of Hydralisks. Oh my god. That is a lot of Hydras. Cal's gonna get busted! He's gonna get busted! Oh my god. See, this is what I'm talking about. You see, at any point in a PvZ, you can be Hydralisk busted. And this is probably gonna happen here. Oh god. Oh god, Cal, pull probes. Pull the probes. The probes! The probes! Pull the probes! Oh no. Oh no, the High Templar's gonna die! Oh no, it's gonna die! Oh no, Bisu doesn't get to play! Ah, Bisu! Kim Tae-kyung! Yeah! Yeah, Shibal! Shibal! The fangirls are cursing! Su, why must you win games? GG! Su makes it a 2-0. Bisu will not play today, except if it's the ace match. But if Bisu comes out in the ace match, I'm gonna laugh. I will chuckle heartily if they send Bisu as ace.